You're watching WRKM Channel 22, number one in the region. Good evening. I'm Ralphie Martinez with End in Darkness. Now, here on The Darkness, we always talk New York political news, whether it's shady assemblymen, whether it's governors who, get a little handsy, and we warn you about months before, but no one pays attention to you because they think you're hating. Wasn't hating, just stating. So we always keep you up to date because we care about it. We live it here in the darkness. And I think it's fair to say that Eric Adams may be our greatest mayor in the history of all mayors. Hot take. Hot take indeed. But hear me out. Okay, I don't know how passionately I feel about this, but we will see. He recently said that New York benefits from the power of crystals. The power of crystals. Quartz, all kinds, within the ground of our fair state, I guess the city he's speaking about specifically, and we benefit from the vibes of these quartz. It sends a power through New York that makes us, resilient, and it's good for the city, even though there is massive crime. He didn't mention the vibes being off. Just vibes. And what's great about this is that, listen, we don't know where he stands on anything. He flip-flops so often. And that's the beauty of being a New York mayor in that way. You can be everything to everyone. And now he's playing for the TikTok vote because the TikTokers love crystals. And people in their late 30s, and they run out of explanations for why things haven't happened to them or for them, they get into crystals too. And it could be some dark times. There's no evidence that crystals work. None. I've never seen it work. I've never even seen one glow like they do in the movies. Some would say the crystals are legit. It's changed their lives in some way. The people in my life who do the crystal stuff, nothing's really happened for them, really. They're still where they were when they started the crystals. The hocus pocus woo woo. Our mayor has healing crystals on his wrist at all times. And the reason why it's great is because he's figured out what New York is. It's full of shit. Why have a policy? Why do policies? Why not believe in crystals? Everyone else in New York is delusional. Join in. Why would we be led by a sane person? Why not just join in? Join in it. Enjoy it. We often say here, the biggest mistake you can make is trying to make sense of everything. Why not join in? The best assessment for what's happening now is using my brand new invented John Hughes chart. The boomers identify with the parents. Gen X thought they were Molly Ringwald. Millennials somehow thought Ducky was endearing. And Gen X has no fucking idea. No, Gen Z has no fucking idea who John Hughes is. I'm not going to re-record that. I'm sticking with it. One takes here, apparently. But that's how it is. Gen Z has no idea any of this stuff is old. Eric Adams knows that. So now he's the crystal mayor. The king of the crystals. I wonder if at the next debate they'll get into a magical sorcery battle. You know, where he throws hexes at her or something. Ruins her vibes. And then she throws back some energy ball. I don't know. Tried to hold in that burp. Couldn't do it. You live and you learn. Sorry, I get calls during this. People call me when I'm trying to record the business here. What can you do? But let's just go for it. I think he should go further. The crystals aren't enough. Get into numerology. Get into astrology. Keep taking it higher and higher. I want him to get to a point where he's in an owl costume and he's sacrificing someone on City Hall steps to bring back the economy. Because policy is dumb. Theatrics, enticing. Interesting. They get the attention. Take it all the way. Crystals. This guy is into crystals. I've never met anyone sane into crystals. Ever. I've met moderate, sane people. Moderate. They're always 2 steps away to flat earths, you know? They're on the cusp of flat earth, let's put it that way. Those moderate normies. But the rest of them are just the weirdest people I've ever met. Now, granted, some of you are who routinely watch are going, well, now, Ralph, you grew up Catholic. You believe the dude walked on water. Well, I think there's some scientific way of explaining that. Maybe. People say the Dead Sea had a lot of salt and creates buoyancy. Maybe it had a lot of salt that time and it created buoyancy for him. Buoyancy. Look at me explaining away my shit. This is why I think Eric Adams should go full crazy with the crystals. Because everyone in New York believes some weird shit. They believe in themselves, and that's a mistake. A lot of them make that mistake. Greatest mayor in our lifetime. Greatest mayor in our lifetime. He cracked the code. I'm insanely jealous. I wanted that to be my mayoral run. Taking it to the depths of the extreme. But to be honest, I'm happy it's him, though. Because I probably would have gone too crazy too soon. I would have gone full Illuminati within the first 2 weeks. That you got to build to. Which is what he's building to now. I guarantee you there's probably a few conspiracy theories out there where this crystal thing is just the beginning. But doesn't the crystal thing a little bit? Just a little bit. Sound like Ghostbusters 2 with the gobbledygook. And all the negative vibes in that gook. And it was going around, causing trouble, bringing back ghosts. That gel was really powerful. Supremely powerful. But what can you do? That Eric Adams is a wild, wild boy. And I appreciate him. I do. I truly do. I wonder how far you take it now. Like, where does he go from here? Because I know where I want him to go, but where does he want to go with it? Like, does he want to go like full like Zodiac Warriors in the anime and shit? Is he gonna go full Voltron? Is he gonna meet other politicians who are into crystals and now they're a crystal league? And they're gonna take down all the horrors of New York with their magical powers? I don't know. But I like where it's going. And you have to like it too. Because who wants reality anymore? Who needs that? Sometimes you have to make your own reality. Make your dreams come true. One woman did that. I believe her name is Nancy Bopfy. She wrote an essay about how to murder your husband. And then she murdered her husband. Bold move to write the essay first. Then again, I thought it was a bold move when OJ wrote his book, If I Had Done It. I don't think he was out of bounds for writing that. Because deep down, we all wanted to know. We live in a true crime world. We had to know how he would have done it. It's a damn shame I haven't read it, though. I think I will. We'll start a book club for this podcast. And If I Had Done It by O.J. Simpson will be the first book. I'm kidding. Maybe? No, if I was going to do a book club, it'd be The Devil's Chessboard. It'd be the first one. But If I Had Done It, it wouldn't be a bad follow-up. But no, this woman wrote an essay about how she would kill her husband. And she's just been convicted of murder. People thought she wasn't going to get convicted originally because they weren't going to show the essay in court. Because they felt like it would ruin jurors' vision of her. They wouldn't be able to judge accordingly. But let's check out this little video here from NBC. So there goes monetization. About the case itself. Volume's up.
After about 24 hours of deliberation, a jury found Nancy Crampton Brophy guilty of killing her husband, Daniel. The murder happened nearly 4 years ago in June of 2018. Daniel Brophy's mother, Karen, says she's been praying for justice.
I've had a struggle believing Nancy. She was our daughter-in-law for a long time. And when she was arrested, it was a great surprise to us until we found out that she hasn't been truthful with us either. So
the state said Crampton Brophy lied about where she was the morning of the murder. Her van was caught on surveillance in the area of the Oregon Culinary Institute in southwest Portland around the time of the murder. Prosecutors say the motive was money, insurance money Nancy would receive upon her husband's death. During the trial, Nancy told jurors she did not kill her husband. Daniel's son and Crampton Brophy's stepson, Nathaniel, was there Wednesday morning as the verdict was read.
To finally have some closure has been very important and meaningful for our family, and feel that we can start to kind of move on and remember my father always, but begin that process of starting to grieve.
The verdict comes almost 4 years to the day of Daniel Brophy's death. Karen Brophy says she learned just how much her son was loved during this trial.
Through the trial, Portland has learned that our son was a great guy, you know. and
Everyone's
we
a great
really
guy when
miss
they get
him,
murdered.
and
It's not fair. It's not
been
fair.
A heartwarming experience in that way.
Nancy Crampton Brophy is set to be sentenced on June 13th at 9 a.m. Bryant Clerkley, KGW News.
I have to go back for a second. I got the son thing.
Son Nathaniel was there Wednesday morning. That was money, insurance money Nancy would receive upon her husband's death. During the trial, Nancy told jurors she did not kill her husband. Daniel's son and Crampton Brophy's stepson Nathaniel was there Wednesday.
Oof. Imagine being that stepson. Having that mom. Oof. Not good. She was a self-published novelist, though, right? And he was a culinary teacher. I don't know. You would think they would work out. You know, how many times have he's had to lie about her books being good? And how many times she lied about his cooking being good? So you would think a relationship built on lies would, you know, work out. I have her essay here that she wrote. And I have pictures of it. So let's go through it, because like they've been trying to hold this thing down. You know, they don't want, you know, people reading this and being inspired to kill their husband. Even though there's several shows about killing husbands, and there's a whole entire show called How to Get Away with Murder. But please, we can have Nancy Crampton Brophy's essay out there. Ooh, she put top 5 motives. Ooh, she did do her research. Financial, parentheses, this is big. Divorce is expensive. Do you really want to split your possessions? Now, she's good. If you're married for money, aren't you entitled to all of it? Yo, if you're married for, all right, here we go. Drawback line is the police aren't stupid. They are looking at you first. So you have to be organized, ruthless, very clever. Husbands have disappeared from cruise ships before. Why not yours? All right, here we go. You know what? That's not a bad... Listen, I'm not looking to kill my spouse, but, I mean, why should I split if we're divorcing? What if there's some things I want? Why can't there just be, like, a record kept of who brought what to the situation? And here's the thing. I would feel the same way if the shoe was on the other foot. Like, if I know I didn't bring much to a situation, she was the billionaire, I shouldn't be getting half. If she's worth a couple of billion, I'll take like 100 mil, that's it, and then pay out, never talk about her ever again. I just want to get my cut. You know what I mean? The cut I deserve. I'm an honorable thief. Lying, cheating bastard, parentheses, deception of any sort. Of any sort? This goes back to him lying about those novels. Maybe that's why she killed him. Maybe the money wasn't it. Maybe he read one of those books and he was like, this is great, honey. But then like he finally told like his boys at the bar going, Jesus Christ, Nancy keeps writing these shitty ass fucking novels. And she's self-publishing them and they're putting us in debt. The cover art is terrible. She doesn't even know how to use an Oxford comma. And they're all the same muscular man on the cover. She wrote romance novels. Those models get paid pretty good, don't you think? I mean, they probably get paid per copy sold, but probably not a lot, though. Because they're dime store novels. So, you know, you're probably going to get nights like, what, 50 cents per cover? And deception of any kind, that's just unfair. Sometimes you have to lie. You have to. You know, you don't want to, but you have to. Sometimes dresses don't look as good. They don't. Sometimes I don't look as good, and I expect to be lied to sometimes. That's how you keep things together. Well, not them. They were hiding big lies. That's little lies. This is a crime of passion. In anger, you bash his head in or stab him with a kitchen knife. Most of the time, there is a trail that leads directly to you. Each type of murder leaves clues. A crime of passion does not look like a stranger was involved. And who was left to clean the blood from your carpeting? Okay. 3, fell in love with somebody else, usually financial, also involved here. I think we're learning something about Nancy. Let's say your church frowns on divorce. Well, I know what that's like. You need to be a widow so you won't fall out of favor with your religion. At this point, I should mention that it helps that you aren't too burdened by the 10 Commandments. Okay, that has nothing to do with falling in love with someone else. Really. Like, it just sounds like you want out and now you're putting it on somebody else. What I do like is she does mention a great point. Some churches frown on divorce, and some of those religions end up forcing marriages to stay together longer than they should. And it ends up where? Murder. So, if anything, she's making a hell of a case for why we should be more chill with divorce, maybe change around the rules a little bit. Less husbands would be murdered. What you see as a murder, I see as active research. She's not wrong thus far. Bold take, I know. She's not wrong. Number 4, abuser. Oh, I'm into this one. This one is tough. Anybody can claim abuse, but what is abuse? To a teenager, it might be took different than to a spouse. As motivation, this reason usually comes from after you've been arrested. And not a lot of abused wives dial 911 upon burning down the house with their husbands in it. That's a fair motive. Now, keep in mind what she did. She reported him missing and then called the police to go, hey, can you move me away as a person of interest so I can collect this insurance money? $1.4 million. She's well researched. That's the thing, though. When you write books, you think you can craft a real, you work yourself into a shoot. So you think you can craft a real life ending, but you can't. It doesn't work out that way, Nancy. It's your profession. Now we're talking, she says. You already possess both skill and knowledge. You have the moral ambiguity necessary to carry it off. Quick hit and you fade from the scene. Get your payment up front from someone else because life insurance probably won't send a check. Oh, so I guess if you're in a relationship with assassins, I don't even understand what that means, Nancy. Options to consider. Ooh, she even has a weapons list. Nancy. Guns. Loud, messy, requires some skill. If it takes 10 shots for the sucker to die, either you have terrible aim or he's on drugs. She shot her husband twice. So clearly she's a pro. Knives. Really personal, close up, blood everywhere. Ill. Has she said anything wrong yet? It is ill to get someone else's blood on you. Garrote? I don't even know what that is. How much upper body strength does it require to strangle a person? All right. I'm sorry I didn't know what the word garrote meant. I grew up in the projects, man. How was I supposed to know garrote? But now I know. And she's got a point. Hanging someone or strangulation, that's a lot of work. And I don't think if you're a woman trying to kill your husband, that's the move to make. So far, she's right. Ooh. Random heavy piece of equipment. Usually this involves hitting someone hard with the baseball bat or a pipe wrench you just happen to have in your hand. Okay, so she's really giving a breakdown of items, but she didn't necessarily fight for that one. I feel like she's getting a little lazy here. She's already decided on the gun part, and she's just doing the other ones just to evade suspicion that she might have killed them. She's like, well, I didn't just talk about guns. I talked about all weaponry of murder. which is not a bad move for Nancy. You gotta sprinkle it away. It's how you evade capture. Or at least that's what she thought. Poison, considered a woman's weapon. Arsenic, easy to obtain. Worse, easy to trace. Well, that's not good. It takes a month or two to kill someone. Plus, they are sick the entire time. Who wants to hang out with a sick husband? Knowledge of pharmaceuticals would be handy. Availability would even be better. A word of caution. Watch out for poisons found in nature. They are not a sure thing. Too little, too much. Your mother always told you to marry a doctor. Now you know why. So you could murder other people? That's a weird one. So you'd kill him? The wheels are falling off Nancy's essay here. But I'm dedicated, and I want to see this through on the last two options. Hiring a hitman. Do you know a hitman? Neither do I. An amazing number of hitmen rat you out to the police or blackmail you later. Okay, that's fair. Hiring a lover. Never a good idea. Husband dies and now the wife gets the money. The lover doesn't always win in this scenario. Sometimes he too finds himself facing a loaded gun. I think, here's the thing, right? Because they were talking about how, or another thing I saw, that she wanted to travel the world and he was more like a homebody, didn't want to go anywhere. I think Nancy's idea of her life is her a loaded gun and pam, 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 taking on the world, you know? No man's going to tell her what to do and tell her where she can go to. She's going to write these dime store novels to the top, baby. She had a strong essay. At least the parts we saw. She had a strong essay, How to Kill Your Husband. It just, once she realizes how she's going to do it, she has no other opinions on the other options, and that's a problem. People can always sense when you're running towards an ending. Here's the thing. Is she not entitled as a creative to make this a piece of performance art? Consider it. Don't walk away from it. Consider it. No, I don't think it's good art. I want to make that clear. I am very aware that this is no good. No good, Nancy. But maybe it's a piece of art. I'm not against it. I'm not against that argument. She didn't win the case, clearly. But I'm not against the argument. That's the argument I would have gone with. She was literally giving a masterclass on a real romance thriller. And the only way she can get her point across is shooting her husband. Not good. Not a good thing to do. But it was an immersive experience. It was an immersive experience. And that's, who knows if that's what we want? I think that's where true crime is going to. It's not going to be enough to watch the documentaries anymore. You have to be part of the true crime. You have to be Marilyn Manson murdering the people because you need to know what it feels like. Oh, you saw that documentary? Yeah, I did, but have you done the immersive experience where you're at the Tate LaBianca murders? It's pretty impressive. It's dope, man. It's like the blood splats on you and they like interact with you and they throw you around. Like, I really was terrified. That man's about to kill me. Like, that's how it's going to happen now. The immersive experience of true crime. That's what people are going to want to do. I realize it because so many true crime podcasts refer to these people, these murders, as characters. Like, this person's a wild character. Like, no, this is a real thing that happened. Now I know when Brian Laundrie was running loose, we all said here that America needs a new case, a new OJ, so we can get back to normal. We might have been wrong, because it seems like there's a new case every day and no one cares. Is that they just want the access to an unlimited number of cases. Eventually, we're going to have to get tapped out. There was that makeup girl who used to do makeup and murder mystery, whatever shit. She kind of stopped doing murder mysteries. She ran out of murders. You do run out of murders that are interesting. There aren't that many out there. Even if you go abroad. We've tapped out of true crime. Now you have to take the true crime we have and take it to the next level. Immersive experience. Disney's doing immersive experiences. Found out about this recently. The Star Wars Star Cruiser. Now you're thinking, oh, a cruise ship. Star Wars themed, that could be interesting. Are people dressed as Star Wars characters? Everything Star Wars? Mm-hmm. It definitely has those things. It's just not a cruise ship. It's a hotel in Disney that you don't leave. You have to stay within the hotel. Okay, it's a starship and outside is dangerous because there's no oxygen. And you basically cosplay Star Wars your entire stay. It costs $5,000 for 2 nights stay. $5,000 to walk around dressed as Watto, dressed as a Wookiee, dressed as whatever the fuck shit they want you to do. And there's little events that occur during your stay that everyone gets involved in. But you're in a hotel. Windows? I don't know. But you're locked in for your stay. At least with a cruise ship, you can see the water. You can go outside. But now with the Star Cruiser, it's an immersive experience. And a hotel. You get to live Star Wars. There was a terrible video I saw for it. Let's pull up the video.
For the first time, it's real. We've traveled to the far reaches of the galaxy. We got recruited by the Resistance. And now, we're ready.
Come on, Dad! We gotta go save the ship.
No. We're gonna save the galaxy.
That sounds horrible. You gotta do activities with your family on vacation? That sounds horrible. What if your kid is too dumb for the activities? Do you want to be that dad? The entire hotel now knows your kid's dumb. It would be like a simple puzzle, too. And you won't get it. You're like, really? You're doing this now? Who needs that embarrassment? Your wife's going to drink through most of it anyway. She hates this shit. Just you and the kid like it. She's gonna be a raging alcoholic the entire time. Flirting with the muscular alien guys. Hey, did you hear about Stormtrooper 567? His wife is just all over the place. I saw him making out with the Yoda puppet. Immersive experience, you know? Fuck. 2 nights, $5,000. Then there's activities. Oh. There's a welcome message.
Hello there, and greetings from Chandler Star Line.
The fuck is
I'm
this?
Agent Dario Zinn, and I would like to congratulate you on booking your voyage through the galaxy.
Is this a Disney
You will be
product?
boarding the Halcyon, a Carillion MPO 1400 star cruiser built during the romantic age of exploration. This ship has hosted spectacular vacations for centuries, and now Chandler Star Line is celebrating with a special exclusive journey to Batu, retracing the path of its maiden voyage. For this special voyage, your ship will be piloted by the esteemed Captain Kevin, so you are in expertly capable hands.
Why does this look
While
like
on
shit?
your
Why
voyage,
does it look so
you will
much like
have access
shit?
to an exciting range of activities, all just a short stroll from your cabin. Try your hand at the honored ancient art of wielding a lightsaber, or learn how the crew operate the ship at a bridge operations training session. Or if you'd like, relax and play a game of Hollow Sabak over a cocktail in the cozy Sublight Lounge. Your vacation
That's
is
where
what
your
you
wife
make
will
it
be.
aboard this legendary star cruiser. On behalf of myself and Chandler Star Line, I would like to welcome you to the spectacular world of galactic exploration, where your journey is our honor. See you soon, traveler. Oh, yes. Chandler Star Line reserves the right to alter any excursion or itinerary without notice in the
Of course.
unlikely event of piracy, invasion, sabotage, or planetary uprising. Chandler Star Line is not responsible for galactic unrest. Bye!
Isn't it funny when big corporations make jokes about legally binding things that they'll be responsible for if something happens to you on an excursion? That they're not responsible for it? Will they be responsible for the husband that hangs himself by the end of that fucking 2-night stay? In a hotel, probably with no fucking windows. LED windows at that. No sun, dude, for 2 days. No outside for 2 days. People start to flip out, man. Especially everyone's in a fucking costume and everyone's drunk. Doesn't sound good. And a lot of people felt that way. Because people didn't go. They spent all this money and people didn't go. They're spending more money now to find out why people didn't go. Because they thought like I thought. That people didn't want to live in reality anymore. We talked about the Storyvilles recently. I thought people just wanted to go live in a fictional place. Apparently I was wrong, so I have some hope. But I do think, though, if they really want to entice people, and you really want to get someone to go to this, it can't be no boring space battle. That's not going to work. In immersive, you're not going to destroy the hotel. So you can't commit to that. It's like when pro wrestlers tell other pro wrestlers they'll kill them. You can't commit to that. So don't promise something you can't commit to. We're trying to make money here, bruh. But maybe what this experience needs is a little bit of true crime. Maybe. Now, this is a wild idea. I'm not saying anyone should do this. But maybe when you book your reservation at Star Cruiser, there is a random lottery someone is chosen and a murder takes place and everyone else has to solve it or they too will be murdered. Because that's what we're interested in. We're not interested in going to space anymore. Space is boring. We're interested in murder. So let's do murder. Escape the room, murder. But for a whole hotel. And none of that pussy shit with the fucking fake knives and shit. No. Make it real. Make it an immersive experience. Disney would be great at this. They have the money of a small country. So they can hire some military guys, some lethal assassins for the hotel. I don't see that being a problem. Controversial as it is, I think it would actually help business. Because there's nothing dangerous about it. Like physically, it's just psychologically damaging being in a hotel for 2 days that you can't leave with no windows. And surrounded by drunken Star Wars fans. The worst kind of people in the world. Whew, I don't know what that was, but that was nice. But, yeah. It's pretty great. I think it's a good idea. Who doesn't want to solve the murder of the kid dressed up as Jar Jar Binks? Maybe a kid's too much. Let's go with an elderly gentleman then. So you're mortified by the first one, but you're not necessarily wanting to solve the crime because you're like, well, maybe he was a heart attack. Maybe it was something else. Then it's a second. And that's when the immersive experience begins. You know, maybe there's one guy who works for the hotel and he's like a detective like guy. And maybe he doesn't know who killed him. Maybe he doesn't know how to find the assassin. Maybe like he can't know everything. You know, you're going to have to get a new one every time, I think. Because once he knows, or maybe the assassin chooses to do it differently every time. So he's constantly, every 2 nights, having to figure out a new mystery. How do you even qualify for that job? I don't know. But, that could solve the problems. Instead of spending more money into figuring out why people during COVID didn't want to spend a bunch of time in a closed off hotel pretending to be Star Wars people, maybe you just infuse what people do like and can't get enough of, and that's true crime. Listen, Among Us was one of the most popular games. Deep down, we want to be in a situation where someone gets murdered and we've got to figure it out. Because we all look at those movies and go, I would survive that. Let's put it to the test. Disney, the ultimate, you know, immersive experience. You know, bullets and crystals, the immersive experience. And like Eric Adams is a character in it. He's got crystals, and if you get a certain crystal, it opens up certain bays in the area. You know, the Nancy Crampton somewhere, and she's kind of a gunsmith, and she can let you know what weapons you should use to defend against the killer. She needs a second act for life. This could be her torture. This could be her imprisonment, having to deal with people on vacation. She'll blow her brains out in a week. But then Eric Adams and the crystals. He'll get to expand his political footprint, run for president, and we're a crystal country. And Disney gets to say, hey, we're trying bold things here. For the love of God, come to this hotel, and maybe people might. We try to find solutions on this show. Unlike some other people who would just let Disney fall apart. And I am also still trying to figure out how do we get bought by Disney, because they own a lot of IP, and I wouldn't mind selling this IP for a couple of million. But I think we all know if we entered this negotiations with Disney, how those negotiations would end.